We are on one of our daily morning walks. Every morning, as long as I have time and I haven't slept in a little bit too long for my chores and to be able to log on to work, we've been going on our daily walks, perimeter walks, around the goat field. And the purpose for this is being that once I let them out, because right now they're in that stall still. It'll be a really long time before I let them sleep out openly with the goats. I might try to move their pen maybe inside the goat pen so that they sleep close to the goats or close to the door of the goats. So the goats just get used to them being pretty close to them at night with not that much barring them off outside of like a panel. But the purpose for this is just so that in the mornings and the evening times I take them on perimeter checks, because that's usually when things go wrong on a farm predator wise. It's usually in the evenings or it's usually in the early mornings. So we do a perimeter check just so they can get used to knowing, you know, their property, their territory, the fence lines, all of the really important things for livestock guardian dogs to know and respect. I let them walk up and look through that, but I don't let them put their paws up on the fence. I just don't let them touch the fence. June still is not super happy about them, but that's fine. She can be unhappy about them through the fence. They're very interested in her, but that's about it. June, no, keep walking. June, just go. Boys, Dexter. She escaped through the, come here, Dex. Come here, Rex. Dexter, Rex, come here. Good boys. Good boy. Come on. Good boys. Can we sit? Hey, sit. Dexter, don't eat my puff balls, guys. I'm trying to let those grow. Oh, man. Hey. Come here. You sit. Sit down. Sit. Sit. Oh, what a good boy. Sit. And you know you want to sit, too, to get the big head scratches. To get those head scratches. You want the head scratches. Oh, the good boys. The good boys. It's another item we're working really hard on is recall. So that if I'm out here and they're doing something, then I can call them back to me. Or I can get them to stop the behavior that they're doing. They're doing really, really good. These guys are really eager to please. I think our problem child is going to be Rex. He's just so big and dopey. And you can tell that Rex is going to be the muscle and the brawn, which means he's not going to think as much for the most part from what I can see so far. And Dexter's going to be the mastermind. Because Dexter's just, you can just tell he's really in tune. Like up here, when you're talking to him or when you're trying to teach him something, you can tell he's taking it in. Whereas Rex is more like, I love you. So, it's been really fun, but we're on our perimeter walk, working on recall and sit, simple obedience, and they're doing really, really good. They still like to, if the goats, because the goats are still kind of unsure, they're getting so much better, guys. They're getting so much better. As long as these guys move easily through them, we're fine. But puppies don't, it's not their normal gait to move easily and calmly anywhere because they're puppies. So getting them to just, hey, easy, calm down before we go through. And they're usually fine. So I'm getting ready to put them up for the morning because I have to go log on for work. But it is a beautiful morning. The sun is just peeking up and over. And we're blessed to live this life, that's for sure. Easy. Easy. She won't have none of it. Easy. Rex. Rex, come here. You know, he's way interested. Rex. Hey. Rex. No, come on, buddy. It's time to go back into our little pen. It's time to go back into our little kennel. Good boys. Hey, Rex, come on. Somebody's not happy to have their first vet visits. They aren't happy. They aren't happy. I don't think I know a dog on earth that's happy for their vet visits. I don't know a dog on earth. Not one that would be happy for a vet visit. It's alright, Dexy. It's alright, Dexy. It's alright. Oh, it's alright. It's not just the dogs. Getting some out-of-state certified vet inspections so we can go to a show. They all look very, very riveted. Well, y'all, a week from today, I'll be at my last show of the year if I can be good and just not look at more shows and put in more entry fees, pay more money. And then the day after my last show, this time next week, we have linear appraisals again. I am super stoked. It's the second year we've had appraisals. I did not do good milking this year, guys. I didn't even do like 2 a days. It was bad. It was bad, but I gotta admit, guys, I didn't do a good job with milking this year. I dropped the ball. I'm in a season of growth, both on the farm, off the farm, in all these different ways and places. So sometimes when you're in a season of growth, you have to watch for overgrowth, like when trees need to be trimmed back, flowers, vegetables, things need to be pruned and pushed back, because overgrowth can kind of tax the roots and tax the stem and the body, and it can end up in things that are not so good. So we don't want to hurt our inner selves. We don't want to grow so much that like our body or our situation, our current place in life can't support it, and we break ourselves down, and it's good growth that turned into something that was kind of detrimental. So I'm kind of in that season of making sure that I keep my overgrowth at a minimal, which meant that I didn't milk a whole lot this year, guys. I was tired, long nights, designing things for the Indiana Homesteading Conference, talking with speakers, doing all the things that, you know, people do when they're in a season of growth. And something had to give, and it was milking. Milking had to give, so my milk results aren't good this year. Actually, a couple of does that I would have loved to have had appraised, when they showed signs that they were wanting to dry up, I just let them dry up. I was like, okay, that's fine. Next year, there's always next year, and I'm not gonna live in this regret, because at first when I found out we were gonna have them again this year, I was like, gosh darn it, why didn't I try harder? But honestly, other things would have suffered, and I'm in a season where I'm like, those things can't suffer. So the goats are here, we're doing the milk thing, we're doing all of the things, and these programs and these managements will be here next year, and I will do better. I will do better. Golly day. They love that manure pile. It's like their favorite spot. But it's back here in the shade too, so it's one of my favorite spots in the in the summertime. It's gonna be a hot one in Indiana today, and the bees are telling me they need some water because they are all over my buck's water trough. You boys coming out of the shade? Is it too hot? It's too hot. Oh, Lord have mercy. Not too hot for some things, I guess. You guys coming in for a drink? You're gonna have to fight the bees. You're gonna have to fight the bees, boys. Oh, poor Tavor. Tavor, you can come in for some drinks. There's bees everywhere, guys. I'm sorry. Got flu, lunars growing up. You got Lovebug back there, and Tavor, who is a lunar son out of Pinky that I held back this year to throw over some Pinky descendants for some line breeding. What do you think? Brother? I think your guys' water is a little treacherous at the moment. This just goes to tell you how hot it is today, because the goat trough for drinking has turned into a puppy pool. Go on, dude. I don't know if the goats are going to enjoy puppy flavored water. I don't think they're going to. I really don't. Dexter's down here trying to get all the pigeons because he loves people. But they're doing really good. We're doing really good on our training. We're doing so good. Starting to act like real guardians. What do you hear, Dexter? What's got you uneasy? And a lot of times that barking is all it takes for, you know, predators to be like, I think I'll think twice, because it's just a lot of noise. It brings a lot of attention to the general area. But it's really neat because they've been here for about 3 weeks. Their training's been going really good. Hey, back off of that. Get. Good boy. Good boy. That's the only thing we've been working on, is they're not allowed to come into my goats' feed bowls until the goats have actually left them. I don't mind them licking up whatever's left in there, because we put wheat germ oil over the top of our goats' feed along with rice bran oil. So it's really not that huge of a deal for them to lick that up. It's actually probably quite good for them. But it's just really interesting to watch them to start to act like guardians, which means they're starting to get really confident with their area. There for a long time, like they wouldn't leave my side. And now they're starting to move off and do their own thing. You can tell they're feeling confident. They'll do their own little perimeter walks now. They're not to the point where they can just be left alone. They still really need me to be in here to supervise, just in case anything gets awry, because they're going to quickly move into this naughty teenager phase that livestock guardian dogs go into, which is why a lot of times it's strongly suggested that you don't get two, and you don't get two from the same litter. And I did that. I got two, and I got two from the same litter. It was a trade. It made sense at the moment. So I'm really watching for signs that they are both confident, that they don't lean on one another too hard, and that they're both good at listening, and that one's not encouraging a bad behavior in the other. So it's really important that even though they're a team out here, they're both receiving individual training. Dexter, no, 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 sit. Hey, sit. Dexter, sit. Hey, no, sit. Thank you. Sit. Sit, Rex. Sit down. Rex, sit. Good boys. Good boys. Good boys. Dexter, hey. No. Good boy. Good boy. Good sits. It's good sits. Good boy. We're working on it. Some days they're better than others. And my goats are starting to get pretty used to them. And the reason I don't want them in the food bowls with my goats is that, and I'm working on it, but they're showing food aggression towards each other. Not to me. I can go put my hands in the feed and I can take it from them and everything. But Dexter is definitely the boss between the two, which I find odd because I think Rex is the bigger and more dominant. But I think Dexter is the brains. So Dexter is the one who kind of calls the shots. But I don't want them in the feed bowls because I don't want them to want the goat's feed. I want them to know, hey, you can go check it out and lick up the dregs or whatever when they're done, but that you don't have access to it, because I don't want them to think they can go eat with my goats and then all of a sudden become food aggressive towards them, because they're viewing the food as theirs. That's not their food. They're fed in a completely separate area. And guys, drop that in the comments if I shouldn't even be letting them touch the goat's food at all. I'm okay with that too. I don't mind picking up bowls and taking them away. But I just don't want them in the bowls with the goats, because I don't want to open up the door for, you know, someone to get butted or hit or kicked or bit or all those things. Good boys. Good boys. Ah, Rex.